lovely females. This is your boy Costa, your host for the evening. Behind me is Thomas Cub's house. Today is Thomas Cub's birthday, and this is Project X. Yo.
Welcome to Out of My Mind, the podcast to decode the mind and be good for the soul. I'm your host, like every evening, Kathy, and today I have with me a special guest, Dolph. Hello.
Yo.
What is going on? So Dolph, we met through mutual friends.
We did. Yes.
And then we started to chill around each other, and then I found out that you were like a real chill guy. You like don't give off those like vibes of like being like weird, of like, you know, those certain dog breeders are like super like mean. And,
Yeah. There's like a look to a
like
dog breeder.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So and then whenever I met you and you were like super chill, you're like, "What's up, bro?" I was like, "Oh shit,
okay." Yeah. So my name's Dolph, or my real name's Adrian, but my nickname's Dolph. And yeah, I do Dolphs Frenchies. I breed Frenchies. I started a few years ago, like 2021. And actually what's really cool / interesting is I never owned any animals before this in my whole entire life. Like my mom was super against dogs and cats. She had a cat phobia actually. So but I always wanted a dog since I was a little kid. And then once I got older, yeah, I was like, I'm gonna get a dog. My first dog was a Frenchie, and then I ended up falling in love with her. And yeah, started getting more and more Frenchies, and then here we are now.
Hello.
Breeding Frenchies.
I know. And how many Frenchies do you own?
So I own 8 Frenchies at the moment. 6 of them are fully mine, and then 2 of them are 50-50 co-owned Frenchies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you mind going through the names of your dogs?
Yes. So my first girl is Malibu. She's OG. Super dope. She's very stubborn, but she definitely gives off OG vibes. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like very chill, doesn't really care about getting pet or attention, which is really weird for dogs a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But that's Malibu. Then we got London. She's a sweetheart. She's every boy dog's like favorite girl out of all of them. But she's very docile, very sweet girl. Then I got Cheeky Thing, my first boy. He's a little gremlin. He's hilarious. Also stubborn. All the Frenchies are a little bit stubborn, but Cheeky Thing he's got his cool little walk, you know what I mean?
I love that picture of him with the little chain on.
Yeah.
Sitting like that.
Yeah, he's really cool because since he's had like a bunch of sisters his whole life, like he just doesn't care about girls compared to the other boy Frenchies, but Cheeky Thing's really cool, super laid back dog. So we got Malibu, London, Cheeky Thing. Then we go to Raina. Raina's crazy. Never name your dog. This is like a theory that I have, that if you name your dog something like Princess or like Raina or something like that, that it just ends up being super crazy most of the time. So she's my crazy girl of the house. Very athletic. Super vocal. That is my most vocal dog. If I'm hearing a Frenchie bark, it's probably her. And that's Malibu, London, Cheeky Thing, Raina, and then we got the little ones. We've got Floofy.
Floofy.
Yeah, Floofy. Her real name was supposed to be Princesa, but she wouldn't respond to that.
It wasn't like clicking for her.
And so she would just be Floofy. And then my light-skinned princess, Rihanna. I have very creative names for all the dogs, but Floofy and Rihanna are sisters, and then I have Houdini, which is my co-own, which stays with my friend.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a fluffy boy.
Is that the one that's like brown?
No. If you see him on my page, he's posted on there, but not like a lot. Okay. He's a fluffy boy. He's like twin sisters with Floofy, essentially.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He hangs out with my boy, and then I have this girl right here, baby.
Oh my goodness.
Little baby, and Yep. She's also a co-own as well.
What a precious little bean that you have right there.
Thank you. She knows it. She knows it for sure. She gets a lot of attention, but she loves it.
So when the litter does like come out, what's like the whole process with that of like getting the whole process started of mating dogs and the process of, you know, finding out who takes who, what's happening and everything like that, especially co-owning dogs. As you said, you have 2 that are 50-50.
Absolutely. So there's a lot of different ways that you can go about breeding. It all starts months and months before the actual process happens. You want to kind of start looking at, like, let's say for her, for instance, you just want to find the genetics and find the best dog that you think would match, and make the best puppies. A lot of times it has to do with like genetics, but also it has to do with the structure of the dog. It just depends on what specific thing you're trying to do and what kind of puppies you're trying to create. So for me personally, I always have to look at the DNA, and test and test what the DNA is, and then also you also want a well-structured dog. Those are like 2 of the equally as important things. And then lastly, you really want to check for like temperament and see how the dogs act. And then then it starts. And then the biggest thing is you have to kind of be prepared once the girl is in heat. The girl will be in heat for about like 2 to 3 weeks, so you have a decent amount of time. But also it's just like predicting the cycle, and then just doing some research. A lot of it is just research, because there's a bunch of really cool dogs that are boys out there, so it's like really hard to decide sometimes which one you're going to choose. But once you start getting all the genetics, and you kind of like you got to visualize it as well. Like, you know, once you put in the genetics together, you'll kind of get to know what possibilities you get. So it's a lot of like, when I first started, I was just like, all right, let me find a cool boy dog and a cool girl dog and breed them together. But it gets like a lot more scientific than that after a while.
I bet. That's why I'm like, how did you create baby? Like, she doesn't even look really, like, you look at her in her face and you just look at her body color, like, and just how her body's structured. Even when I was holding her, I was like, oh my god, wow, she's a big girl. Yeah,
so with her specifically, so her dad is actually from Wisconsin. So it's like, it's pretty crazy, because it gets very, what's the word for it? It's pretty crazy. Like, it gets pretty wild. Like, a lot of it is networking and just finding people throughout the whole entire country. And then you just end up talking to them through like via Instagram, Facebook. A lot of it is social media, where you could kind of see. But her dad's from Wisconsin, and her dad is like a brown version of her, and then her mom's just an all white fluffy. So when that was going on, we wanted to, so the biggest reason too that you want to breed your girl dog to the specific male is to make it better in a way, you know what I mean? So you want, let's say for instance, like your Frenchie and your breeding has like a smaller head, and you want a bigger head on the puppies when you're creating it, so you're going to find a stud that has a bigger head. Or if, let's say, if she didn't carry any fluffy and then the boy was fully fluffy, you know what I mean, you're adding on fluffy. So you're kind of just adding like desirable characteristics essentially when you're looking for the boy. So it's pretty cool on that end. But yeah.
And then, like, do you ever go to any events or anything like that for meeting people or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a bunch of like bully shows all the time in Tampa, all over this the US. There's really big ones in like Miami especially. There's huge shows over there. Tampa. I haven't been to any shows out of the state, but there's shows all over. especially like the big states for breeding are California, Texas, and Florida. Those are like the biggest, in my opinion, Frenchie breeding community. So yeah.
And then especially whenever people are buying dogs off you, what is like kind of your setup for that?
So it depends on what they're trying to do with the dog. Most of the time, I do prefer to just sell them pet home.
Okay.
So that just means that I would sell you a Frenchie without the breeding rights. Now, if there's other breeders as well that would want to buy my dog, you just, you add your price to it because it is a little bit more expensive if you're going to sell a dog with breeding rights versus just selling it as a pet. But I just kind of like use my judgment in a sense, and just see how the people live, if they're even fit to take care of a dog, because there are unfortunately a lot of people that are not fit to take care of the dog, and people just go ahead and sell them anyway. And it's actually happened to me before that I had to take a dog back because it wasn't living in the best conditions. So that kind of made me like rewind of the selling process and like really making sure that at the end of the day, I'd rather take less money and have that dog go to a good home and live like a really happy life than, making a couple extra bucks and the dog be miserable. So, but yeah, the biggest thing is just using your judgment, seeing how the people are. I preferably like to sell with people with like kids and like families and stuff like that, because the Frenchies will never get unentertained. They're always going to be running around. The kids are going to love them. So that's probably my biggest thing, just knowing the people. And yeah.
And then when you say like not selling breeding rights, does that mean like do you get to use the dog at any point to breed the dog for yourself, or did you just sell the dog and then that's it? You have no
right. So like, let's say if you wanted to buy a dog off me, I would ask you if you wanted the AKC papers, which infers that you're going to breed it eventually one time in your life, at least once. Or I could just sell it to you pet home, which is like, I don't give you any papers. The only paper I do give you is a health certificate, which shows you like, all right, this dog is healthy, took it to the vet, doesn't have any kind of diseases or worms or whatever the case may be.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite kind of Frenchie that you've had so far?
That's a great question. I guess it depends on the day.
Okay.
Right now, baby's like my favorite, because for the last few years, this has been something that we've been trying to create. It's pretty crazy, because a few years ago, this was like everybody's goal in the Frenchie community. They would want like a fluffy with Isabella and just awesome structure. So she's my favorite right now as far as like looks wise, and but it depends on the day. Because sometimes it's like you want to chill with your little boy Chiquitín. I have Chiquitín right around with me a lot, and then Malibu, obvious OG. Sometimes when I want to go out and play some sports or something, feel more athletic, I'll bring Raina out.
Okay. So it's really just depending on
it just depends on the
mood
mood and the day. If I'm just trying to chill and relax, I'm hanging out with London, because she's just going to be sitting like this the whole time and not really moving around. But yeah, they all have my heart in different ways, for sure. Like, they're all my favorite in different ways. Yeah, for sure.
And whenever you started like the whole Frenchies, did you think like, oh my god, like I would be so like involved with all these dogs, or did you think, I'll just like, okay, it's just breeding dogs, it's just something that I would
for the meantime? No, I had no idea I would get this deep. at all. If you would have told me how many dogs I would have had a few years ago, I would have been like, no freaking way, dude. But yeah, no, not at all. I was just hanging out with Malibu, you know. It was very simple at those times. We would just, you know, hang out, ride around. It was just like so cool just to have my first dog, you know what I mean? So we really bonded, and
Now you have.
and now I have a whole lot of Frenchies.
And how, like, what is the different, like, whole ranging from, like, okay, you have a Fluffy, and then you have, like, what Malibu is, or, like, if you have, like, different, like, what is the whole pricing range on pricing a Frenchie? Is it, like, the features of the dog? Is it, like...
Absolutely. So it's a collection of a bunch of different things. And the beautiful things about Frenchies and just like this market in general, it's what I think it's worth. You know what I mean? So you might not think it's worth that much, but if I say that this dog is worth $30,000, and then I talk to another breeder, and then they'll be like, okay, that's a $30,000 dog, but it's just whatever you want to price it. But obviously there's things that go into the reasoning of why I would price a certain dog at a certain price. The first thing would obviously be, which is equally as important, would be the genetics and the structure of the dog. So the biggest thing is, like, right now, especially with all the different kind of like the Fluffy and the Big Rope, they're adding a lot of like new traits and characteristics to the Frenchies. So sometimes it compromises the structure, and then you got a Frenchie that doesn't really look too much like a Frenchie. Has like longer legs, a little bit skinnier. You kind of want like a fatter, shorter Frenchie. But definitely their color determines a big part of it. Their genetics, so their DNA, their structure, their pedigree. So pedigree just means like who their parents were.
Okay.
So that's another really cool
Damn,
thing.
it's like a whole family tree you gotta look
Exactly.
at.
No, 100%. Because when you're doing your when you're trying to find a dog, especially to breed, pedigree is important, because later on you could say this person has this famous Frenchies kind of bloodline.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And a lot of it is temperament too. So like the pedigree, I noticed a lot depending on, you know, the parents, how the kids are going to act.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a lot of it is based like that, because there's certain bloodlines, believe it or not, they're like really fucking crazy Frenchies. Like not like crazy, but they're a little demonic. Some are a little nicer, you know, some are a little bit meaner, and that doesn't always like necessarily happen. Like just because your Frenchie's a really badass Frenchie, but he's a like, you know, kind of a bad attitude or a little aggressive, that doesn't necessarily mean that their kids are going to be like that, but a big chance, you know, there's a lot of temperament does follow down to the kids, and also how you raise them, of course. But yeah, there's a bunch of factors. What did we go over? We went over structure, DNA, pedigree, and just if it's going to be like if it's going to be bred or not, it also makes a big difference.
Okay.
So
Well, there's a lot of
yeah.
It's not like you look at the dog and be like, yeah, I'll price it like this. It'll be cool, slap a price tag on it, and then just like keep going. I get that. Okay. And then could you share like a particular moment in like this point in your life where it was just like, oh shit, like, okay, this is like really doing something for me now?
When I had my first litter, it was like it was crazy. The whole process was crazy, and afterwards, once I really like got into it and started, you know, taking care of the puppies, and then once all the puppies got sold, that was like, okay, I can, you know, this is cool. I like this, you know. And it's cool because like you have the chance to be creative. So my vision of what I want my Frenchie to look like might not be what another breeder's Frenchie's vision or another breeder's vision is going to look like. So it's kind of cool to see like what our ideal Frenchie is going to be like, you know. So.
And then were there any like challenges or setbacks that you've had when breeding Frenchies?
Absolutely. You're dealing with life at the end of the day. These are like little kids. But yeah, I've dealt with a lot of challenges and setbacks. And it's part of the game. It's part of anything that you do in life, in any field. Unfortunately, not too long ago, I had lost a few puppies from a litter. So that happens. Setbacks, I would say, when I go to breed, like a couple months ago, I went to go breed Raina, and I actually flew out to Wisconsin to go get her bred from a specific boy that I liked, but I ended up spending $5,000 on the boy's semen. I spent $1,000 to go out to Wisconsin with Raina, and then I got back because you don't find out right away if she's pregnant or not. You find out a month later from when she gets inseminated, and a month later I was really hoping for puppies, and no puppies. So, but there's kind of like an written rule in a sense in the Frenchie community that if I am selling you my sperm, like if I'm the stud owner and I'm selling the sperm, if she doesn't end up taking the sperm, you get a rebreeding. But just the time and the process. Another setback, I guess I could say, would be like, having to take that one Frenchie back from that one home. But other than that, honestly, they're really cool, just little things that, happens to dogs in general, taking them to the vet, them getting into something crazy, you know what I mean? There's stories and stories and stories. But yeah, it's very you got to be very patient to do what
you got a lot of I got one, and he drives me nuts.
Absolutely.
You got 8.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yup.
Yeah, that's insane. Because I'd be sitting here like, damn. Sometimes I'd be like, damn, dog's got a house full of dogs, bro.
Yeah.
I got one, and Scooby drives me crazy. I can't imagine how you like feed all of them, and get all of them ready, and take them out, and do this. Like,
a lot of it is just it's like running a little daycare. You know what I mean? I swear. But they have to have like a schedule. A lot of it was very stressful at a certain point in time, especially when they're young, because they're just starting to understand. And Frenchies aren't the smartest breed of animal. It's not like you could like training a golden shepherd or a German shepherd, or any of those other kind of smart breed of dogs. They're not like that at all. They're much more personality. So you kind of have to work with their personality. You have to bribe them a lot with treats and food.
I bet.
And after a while they get it. They're disciplined. I have like a whole little, especially since I have so many dogs, you have to have some structure for them, or else they'll go rambunctious.
Running around. Going into each other. Besides, breeding Frenchies, do you have any other activities or hobbies that you enjoy besides doggies?
Oh yeah, actually, it's completely off topic, but I train Muay Thai, and that's what I do for fun. I like to play soccer. I like to stay active, keep my body going. A lot of it is mental work too, so it's like really nice to get a break from the Frenchies sometimes. I'll go play soccer on Thursdays, Wednesdays, and in the mornings I have to go to training. If I don't go to training, I'll do something else, like go run or just go do, hang out with the dogs in the backyard and let them chase me, and that's a little workout right there.
A lot of dogs chasing you.
And yeah,
So how long have you been doing that?
Muay Thai, I've been doing it for over 2 years now, and I played soccer like my whole life since I was like 5, 6 years old. So yeah, it's nice to get away, get my own exercise, get my own things going on, and I like to eat food a lot. I love food.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love food? What's your favorite thing to eat?
Steak.
I bet.
Eggs and steak.
Eggs and steak, like
steak
in one
and eggs,
like
and what together?
Together. Okay.
It's a great combination.
Yeah, steak and eggs.
You haven't tried it yet.
I mean, I've tried it. Like it's not
it's not the best combination.
It's like two separate stuff put together.
Yeah.
You're mixing them in one plate, but yeah, I mean, that sounds like a delight.
Yeah.
So how do you balance your work life with your personal interests and passions, and kind of like able to take care of dogs, hang out with friends, do your own personal stuff?
Yeah. It's just kind of finding that right balance. For me personally, I have to almost like, before I take care of the dogs, especially in the morning, I have to make sure that I'm good. I get my morning routine, because like I said, it's a lot. So I like to, make sure that my morning starts right. Go outside, get some sun. I don't like to look at my phone right away. Which I am still guilty of, but I like to reserve like 30 minutes in the morning, take a shower, relax,
wake up,
go outside,
actually wake up and do stuff.
Wake up, feel good. And then, because when I'm I'm not a morning person whatsoever. So when I wake up in the mornings, and if I'm not feeling good, if I don't have my routine, then I'm not going to like feel good to go take care of my dogs. I'm more like, guys, come on, go outside. Go outside. Come on. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it done. Come on. Move.
Like the fucking army.
Exactly. Go. So I have to go in there and kind of like take a little bit of time for myself for a second, and then I'll go tend to the dogs. But it is very hectic. It's like I'm still trying to find that balance even after years of doing this, because my schedule is almost like ever changing. And just trying to, like, the first things first always is the dogs. So just feeding them, cleaning their crates, cleaning their area in the morning, letting them go outside. And then once they're all done and they've had their time outside, then it's a little bit of me time. Thankfully as well, it's not 100% me all the time. I do have an awesome community of family and friends that also help me take care of the dogs, when I am not, when I can't be around. So it works out a lot. Because there was a period in time that I was doing it all myself, and it just becomes super stressful. So just having a team, in general is super important in just this field in general, because you have to have a team.
I bet, because I feel like if you don't have that support, you're gonna feel like, oh my god, everything is like just on me. Like this is all I have. If I don't do it, like who else is gonna do it? And like kind of just keep having friends and family and people that support you it's helpful. Even people think like having the lone wolf mentality is supposed to be like awesome and great, but like I feel like if you have that support and like a system that's like there, you can like elevate like
absolutely
more with everything else.
Absolutely. And it's just like raising a child in a sense. I hate like putting it in an analogy like that, but it takes a village to raise a child, and that's kind of how it is with these guys over here. So I'm super blessed and thankful for the group. Especially when I was first starting out, I didn't have a lot of it. Wasn't like you could find anything on Google and YouTube, because that was one of my biggest teachers. But also just the support of people in the French Bulldog community that also bred dogs. They're also like super helpful, and there's a lot of little things that they're not gonna show you on Google, or just advice. Just a lot of like the little things. I got a lot of help from, especially in the beginnings. I was not shy to ask questions at all. My biggest thing is like, you could look stupid for a second. You could think, because nobody really cares at the end of the day. But you could ask a question and you might look silly or feel like you look silly for a second, but then they answer that question. So a lot of it was just asking questions. And because, dude, even when I first got Malibu, I kind of just jumped in on it. And I remember the first time I heard her snore, I thought that she was like actually having like really bad breathing problems. I didn't even know that she was the Frenchie snored in general. I was like, dude, what is going on? I called my boy. I'm like, bro, why is she snoring like that? And he was like, bro, that's a Frenchie thing. And I was like, oh, okay.
So they don't have anything?
Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with them? No. You're good, dude. You're good. And I was like, okay. Yeah, they snore like they work a 9 to 5.
Yeah, I bet they do. They snore like the whole life is just working day and night.
It's like it's only Wednesday and I've worked 60 hours.
Sitting outside puffing.
I've worked 60 freaking hours.
I'm fucking exhausted, bro. Okay, damn, dog, having dogs is so not easy, bro. So kudos to you, bro, for doing what you do, because let me tell you, people would be like, oh, I can do what he do. I can't do what you do.
No.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. I can't sit up in here and be like, I can have 8 dogs and I can take care of all of them. Like
it's a lot, man. And it's like you have to be kind of like a jack of all trades in a sense. I have to be a janitor in the morning times, pick up, and that is like, when other people see me clean up, they're like, oh my God, like that's crazy. But I'm just like normal, like, I got the gloves on, like, all right guys, it ain't nothing. So you got to be a janitor, you got to be, a mom and a dad.
Teacher.
So you got to be the little nurturer at points, but then you got to be a father, and then you got to discipline sometimes, and just like, all right guys, come over here, and just give them that structure and discipline. And then you gotta be a marketer. You gotta market and talk to people,
and
and
be a businessman. You gotta shake
photographer. So it's just so many different things, which is really cool because it gives you kind of like experience in a bunch of other different things. I learned a lot more about kind of just like presenting yourself in social media. I've never been a big social media guy. I still am not, but I've been working on putting out, my camp out there, putting out a lot more content and stuff like that, because nobody's gonna know if you have cool dogs if you don't post them. Besides, the people that are in your immediate circle.
Yeah.
But yeah, just
I definitely
everything.
understand where you're coming from with the whole like social media thing. It's very like I didn't have a podcast, I wouldn't post.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't have like
Same.
any of this, I wouldn't really be on social media, because I don't feel like it's something for me. But
right.
like now, when you are on social media, you are posting, you're like, okay, now I gotta be active. I gotta post about my content, because like you said, nobody's gonna know if I have stuff coming out or stuff going on if I don't talk about it or market with people. And some other things like who's Dolph, what's Dolph about, your life besides Frenchies, and everything else, and who you are as a human being. So I don't know if do you have a bucket list? Have you ever thought of a bucket list or anything that you've inspired to do?
Hell yeah, for
okay.
sure.
Okay.
Bucket list, I would love travel. That's like on everybody's bucket list, but specifically for me, there's a few places I'd like to travel before I die. So I'd love to go back to Panama. That's where a lot of my family is from.
Oh, wow, sick.
So I'd love to go back to Panama. I really want to go to like Japan and Thailand. So I'm gonna count that as two, just Asia, because like I would make like a month trip to go like a week in each place. I'd go to Thailand to go train, at least for a week or two, because that's like always been a dream of mine, is to go train over there.
That would be sick
and
as hell.
Yeah,
like,
you just learning from the Thais. You're getting to like, you get a beautiful view. You're learning from
that'd be a whole
where it started.
like
Yeah, I would
Alright,
be
like-
absolutely
Yeah,
flabbergasted.
I couldn't even imagine.
And Japan, just because like I love Wagyu steak.
Everything in Japan is just
It's just like, you know,
better.
yeah,
Like, it's just like
very artistic, but they are like very like
so precise, but so like
absolutely.
everything. So it's like so colorful, but then everything's like so like neat and like not like. That's why whenever you want to go over there, you're just like, damn, bro, I can't imagine what their atmosphere just is, just being over there and like being in their networking and like how they do everything on their day to day. I'm like,
and they eat good. They have like
I
a good
know.
lifestyle over there. It's
you go
like
to a 7-Eleven over there, that shit clean
uh-huh.
as hell. And
Yeah.
got
What?
I be watching those videos.
Yeah, it's like they have everything down like to a scale on like the macro and the micro, you know.
Packaging
And then
so clean, everything's nice.
everything, their
Oh my
clothes,
God.
their food. So that's I'd love to go to just kind of like Asia in general, but specifically Japan and Thailand. And then I guess my last place I would love to go to is England. I would love
You
to
would
go
like
to
to
England.
go to England,
Absolutely. So Frenchies were actually originated in England. They have the name French Bulldog because
Fun fact.
group of fun fact. Frenchies were actually bred and created by a group of lace makers, which are women that like make dresses and stuff like that back in the day. And they were like super into English bulldogs,
Okay.
but they're just too big to sit on their lap. So they wanted like a lap version of an English bulldog, and they started breeding together. I believe modern day pug, English bulldog, and I believe it was a Boston Terrier that they bred all together to form into a Frenchie. Don't quote me on that, but I know it's like 2 or 3 of them.
This is like the story slightly.
Yeah, so these people from England, they ended up moving to a small province in France, and then they ended up being the French bulldog, even
And
though
they
they're all
fucking-
English people that made
fucking
it.
made French bulldogs, mate.
So yeah, England,
insane.
because that's kind of where the Frenchie started, and I would just like I don't know why I've had like a fascination of just like hearing them like English people speak. I would just love to go hang out and just go watch a football game over there and eat some fish and chips and shit like that. The most stereotypical thing.
Yeah, the most sitting.
What
probably
Americans think they do over there, but they really probably don't do that at all.
They're like, Bloody, we don't do nothing.
We don't do none of that. I hate fish and chips. It's like not even English.
Not even English. They have what do they eat over there? I forgot. Fuck.
They eat
It's the
crumpet,
beans.
marmite.
The potato, the
Oh.
jacket fucking potato.
Oh,
The jacket
yeah. See, like that's one thing I
potato.
will not be getting down on over there is their food, like beans and like bread.
You don't want a jacket potato, mate.
Beans and potatoes.
Yeah, baked beans on a fucking potato bread.
That sounds
Yummy
absolutely
jail
delicious.
food. It's like jail food.
What?
What? Oh my god. Ooh, okay. Can you share a movie or a piece of music that holds sentimental value or has inspired you?
That's a great question. A movie or a song that has a lot of sentimental value or what?
Or like just inspired you?
Inspires me. Man, I have a couple of songs, but I would say man, there's like 2 or 3 songs. Superstar by Lupe Fiasco.
Oh wow.
If you are what you say you are. So that one gets me super hyped and ready for the day.
Yeah, wow, that's
You have no fear. So that one's like when I'm riding around, I'm like about to have a long day. I'm like, all right, let's kill it today. Meek Mill, Dreams and Nightmares, like in the morning. Another fun fact. Quick fun fact. In the morning, I'll play that while I'm in the shower, and I'll scream it to the top of my lungs. And as you should, like that's the only way you're supposed to listen to that song. And yeah, it gets me super hyped and motivated for the day. Love those 2 songs. Movie? I don't know. I would have to get back to the movie part.
Okay, we can come back to that movie so you can have a chance to like really dig
because
deep
that's a
into
really
your files
that's a really good one.
Okay. Okay. Is there a particular life lesson that you have learned that you would like to pass on to my viewers?
Yeah, just if you feel like you want to do something, just go ahead and fucking do it, man.
Fucking
Just do it.
Mikey.
It's like sounds so cliche, but the longer you wait to feel like you want to do something, and the longer you wait, you don't want to let the fire die. Just do it, and if you fail at something, you know, at least you could say you tried. And if you fail again, because you will win one time.
And fail until you get that win.
Absolutely. So yeah, that would be my message for everybody.
That is a great message. Don't give up, because if you give up, then you really are just not going anywhere. Now you're just stuck.
Yup.
And you end up nowhere. We are gonna play a game. So you know that now.
Okay.
We're gonna play this or that.
This or that. Okay.
So I'm gonna give you a couple options. You pick between this or that. You can give me either an explanation why. You can be like, okay, that's what it is.
Okay.
Just leave it at that. Okay. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Vacation or staycation?
Vacation.
Okay. Netflix or Hulu?
Gotta go with OG Netflix. Even though Netflix is shit, I'll have to still go with Netflix.
Netflix is they've kind of been on
They've been doing better?
Yeah, they've kind of been doing better. They have a little bit of stuff on there. Nothing too crazy. I'm more myself an HBO Max girl. I love me a little Max action.
Yeah, that's like that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Rich and famous or rich and unknown?
Rich and unknown. I want my peace. I feel bad for. I mean, being famous obviously has got its perks.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, like I have too much. Like I'm a very laid back person. If I had a bunch of people always coming up to me, it'd be cool for a little bit. But when you just want your space and peace,
you'd be like, bro, get out my face.
Yeah, man. I'd be like an asshole after a while. I'd be like, end up turning into Kanye or something. I'd be like.
You'd be like Ben Affleck. He liked it at first. And then he's just like,
yeah, man.
Like, bro, I'm good on it.
Definitely rich and just chilling for sure.
Rich and unknown for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Passenger or driver?
Driver.
For sure. He's
sure.
a Mr. Beat the Road.
Listen, I have I don't know. I trust myself when I'm driving more than anybody else.
For
obviously, you know, as you should.
You should trust yourself
more than any other people driving. But yeah, every time I'm I hate when I'm getting into passenger and I'm starting to feel oh my god, I just need to take over. So I'm a big driver guy. If I can drive, I'd prefer to drive.
I get that. I'm with you when you're right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Art museum or history museum?
Ooh, that's a great one.
I know I came up with these questions such last minute. It's great.
I really like art, but I'm gonna have to go with history museum. I don't know. I kind of when I was younger. Actually, my mom took us to New York, me and my little brother, and we got to go to the Smithsonian Museum.
The nice museum
Yup, in Central Park.
Mm-hmm. And I bet you saw everything that was amazing.
And it was awesome. I was so starstruck as a child. I always loved history. That was my favorite subject when I was younger in school. So I definitely have to go with history on that one. But I can really appreciate art. And just cool shit like that.
In St. Pete.
The Dolly Museum is insane.
Dude,
you've been there before?
No.
Oh my god.
Dude,
you gotta go. Yeah, I've been multiple times.
No,
super cool. Super cool.
I heard it's lit though.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's just you go, you feel super obviously. You feel super artsy leaving there.
If I can go there, you're want to be Picasso. You're like,
you're like, I'm gonna go buy some paint right now. I'm gonna go buy some
Michael's up right now, bro.
What? Bro, that's how I felt. I was like, man, I'm
walk out of there. You're like, bro, I can do this.
I can do that. That I can do. I can draw.
Sign me up. Bro. Car or bike?
Car.
For sure.
Car for sure.
Train or airplane?
It depends where we're going. You know.
You don't got a train here though that could take you to New York.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Dude,
No,
that's
I wouldn't.
pretty
I'd
fun.
still do plane.
Okay.
But if I'm in Europe or New York, I would definitely hit the train. It's like a very nostalgic feeling.
You rent a cart. All you gotta do is rent a cart, and then you get to.
And then you're gone. You're like,
That's
oh,
it.
I'm in the freaking train right now. I'm in the
I know.
subway. That was a cool experience. Being a Floridian, going on a
subway,
going underground.
You're like, whoa, what is
You're
this?
like, whoa.
We can't do that.
Nah, not at all.
We
That's
gotta
when
get
you take the
dirt.
bike. Take the bike.
Oh my god. Okay. This one's pretty good.
Okay.
Let's see how you answer it.
All right.
Owe money or owe a favor?
That's a great one.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather. Damn. I mean, it kind of just depends on how much money or what the favor is.
Like, what's the situation?
But I mean, I guess I would say a favor, only because not necessarily for the money thing, but I feel like you could just be more useful in somebody's life later on in time. Might not be like necessarily like good for you, but somebody remembers a favor that you did for them a lot more than
more
like
of a favor person than money.
the 20 like, oh, let me borrow $20 and I'll pay you
next
back.
week.
Yeah, like, all right, cool. I'll forget about it once I get the $20 and then never
spend it on something else.
So like the favor is much more like, all right, I care about you.
I'm gonna
I'll
remember
get you
this.
right.
Yeah.
Right, for sure.
Because then, yeah, I know you're loyal. Yeah,
For sure.
For sure. Money be making people do stupid things.
Absolutely.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
He said that with no hesitation, right?
Coffee. I actually had an iced latte with brown sugar, cinnamon, and caramel this morning.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's fancy.
Yeah.
That's fancy.
Yeah. It's
okay.
like, yeah.
Coffee
Caffeine is definitely one of my vices. That and nicotine.
That's a good breakfast.
It's a diabolical combination right there. That is my breakfast, actually. I haven't eaten, but I did vape, and I did have my coffee.
So we are ready to
Yep.
Glasses and all. Be embarrassed or be afraid?
That's a good one, too. I mean, I don't care about being embarrassed. Like, you do for the second. I guess I'd rather.
I feel like you would think about you being afraid forever. You'd be like, "Damn, remember that one time I was
scared, like
I
have a big thing on like if you kind of are feeling afraid of something, just fucking like I said earlier, just do it because most of the time you're not gonna be afraid of it after. A great example of this was like skydiving.
Dolph,
I've been skydiving twice. You can absolutely hear.
I was just scared to wake her up. I promise.
She'll go right back to sleep.
I promise. I just want to touch you and hold you.
No, she'll straight chill. However you carry her, she'll just be like, all right, I'll lay down right here. Go back to sleep. Yeah. Very soothing. But I guess I'd rather be embarrassed.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really care. It'll go away. I'd rather not be afraid. I don't like that feeling, but like I said earlier, you just gotta. There is a saying like, what fear stands for: fuck everything and run, or face everything and rise. There's two definitions to it, you know. So that's kind of like the way.
You just taught me something.
Yeah, you learn something new every day. You know.
Okay. The city or countryside?
The country. I'd say the countryside. I love the city. There was a time in my life that I had an apartment in downtown, and I absolutely loved it. It was super cool vibes. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Super cool. It was like a little downtown, like, you know, I get to see the view of the whole city. And that was really cool, but I just like nature, the greenery, and with the business that I do, obviously, just you have to be kind of country, not country, but you have to have some space, some land, you know.
Wine or beer?
Beer. Beer.
I knew you were gonna say
Beer.
like,
I could appreciate a good
Beer.
wine.
You like wine, dog?
I could appreciate a good wine. Like if I'm drinking, like if I'm eating a filet mignon, I might want like a nice red. Or if I'm eating fish, you gotta drink a nice white wine. But if I'm like we're kicking back right now,
Corona.
I'm gonna want a beer. Yeah, like
Which
a Modelo, Corona. They're all good, man. They're all good.
She's so bro. I can't even. Okay,
especially
cooking
with a lime.
or being cooked for?
Ooh, I'm a man, so I like being cooked for. But I do enjoy
I love how you
cooking.
said that. I'm a man, so
yeah, I mean, it's just like, biologically, I would rather just
not whip it up in the kitchen. You're like, dude, come on.
I used to hate cooking, but I'm learning to actually like love it now, and I like to cook.
It's such a good element. Get a nice little cold drink, put some jams on.
Absolutely.
Put the fucking food on the stove, start just vibing. Maybe roll. Who knows where the night's gonna take you once you're in the kitchen.
I get a little creative when I'm smoking while I'm cooking. I'm like, that might be some good seasoning to have on there. And then most of the time it ends up being all right.
And then I'd be like, I could be a chef. This is the chef.
I'll be like,
hey. No autographs right now. Okay, play or stand-up show?
Oh, stand-up show.
Fuck, am I gonna sit there
Stand-up show. Yeah.
Roommates or live alone?
I don't know. That's a great one too, because I lived alone for a long time and I really fucked with it heavy. But I like having the right roommate is really cool. It's just I'm having the right roommate, because I've had a lot of roommates in the past, and I've also been the roommate in the past that wasn't the best roommate per se. So, but also I believe if you have the right roommate, you guys can motivate each other, to do good things, and just bounce off each other. And it's nice too, like I have a roommate now, my boy Joel, and he helps me a lot with the dogs, and just everything around the house. So that's like super helpful, when I don't get to be home, he gets to be home with the dogs. It's like their Theo, their uncle. So, it's cool to have the right roommate. I personally am more of like I like to be alone kind of person. I really enjoy my solitude. When I was first living alone, I didn't really like it just because I wasn't used to it, but after a while, I'm like, all right, I like this,
Then you like get into like a routine of like having your own shit,
exactly,
and like doing your own thing, and like you don't really have to worry about communicating. If you don't want to communicate, you can really just stay do your own thing.
Exactly. So it's really cool. But yeah, just having the right roommate. Because before I obviously had a roommate, I was living alone, and when my boy first moved in, at first I was like, damn, like it's gonna be weird to have a roommate again, especially because I was like really digging living by myself, and I was really starting to get used to it and enjoy my own presence. But yeah, everything's been like super awesome so far. Can't complain about that. And actually, my roommate now I was his roommate when I was like 18 years old.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so it's really cool. We've always been like super. The biggest thing in having a roommate in general, it's just communication. You know what I mean? If there's something that you want done, or vice versa, or if there's something that there just needs to be done around the house or whatever, talk. That's it. Just be
closed mouth don't get fed. Let me tell
absolutely.
Let me tell you. Okay. Attend a party or host a party?
Definitely attending a party, because hosting a party is like cool.
Oh my goodness.
But you're worried about, like, especially if it's at your house, you're like, oh my god, I gotta clean here, I gotta do this, I gotta make sure that this person that's on the way knows where we're going or whatever. So yeah, attending a party, because you're not like
you can leave and
you can leave. Yeah, you don't have to clean. Oh, you're just like,
You're like, all right, I'll leave that.
You're like,
I'm
it's my
good.
time to go.
Oh, the time.
Oh, yeah.
For me to leave.
Hosting
okay.
is like, sometimes you're like, all right,
Damn, bro, I wanna
motherfuckers,
kick
just
everybody
hurry
the
up. Like, finish what you're doing and leave, because
Dude,
I'm trying to sleep.
I'm trying to go to bed. Okay. Lose sleep or skip a meal?
Oh, skip a meal all day.
All day. What?
All day. That's
lose
easy.
sleep. You're
Lose
crazy,
sleep?
bro.
Nah.
You're
I'm big on my 7 or 8 hours.
I'm big on sleeping, closing them eyes, and getting a little rest from everything.
I'll skip a meal. I'll just drink a Celsius or something. I'll
Maybe
drink
I'll
like
go.
a coffee, and I have my nicotine. I'm good.
Pass me a Red Bull and a wood. I'm good.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm good for the rest of the day, dude. It's probably bad, but
our organs and our
They're fucking
intestines hate us.
deteriorating.
They're fucking like, please give me some real food. This is the 48th day of coffee.
They're fucking journaling.
Oh my god.
Day 50, still no breakfast.
Still no breakfast. Please feed me.
Running off another latte.
Another caramel. Brown sugar latte, please. Just give me some fucking steak, bro.
Steak and eggs.
Steak and eggs. My body thrives off that.
Oh my god. Hang out with little kids or old folks?
Old folks. Hell yeah. Listen, kids are cool and shit, but like the old folks gonna have those stories for you, like, you know, they're like, oh, when I was a young buck, or, you know, or like in the 60s, in the 70s, you know, it gets real. It's about to get real when they say back in my day, or in the 60s, or in the 70s, you know.
When I was these
for real. So I definitely say old people have a lot of good insight and knowledge to provide. Oh, but kids do too. You'd be surprised what you learn from kids. You'd be like, damn, like kids are fucking smart. Like I think every new generation of kids is just getting smarter and smarter. Because like, for instance, I'll go hang out with like my friend's little brother and stuff like that, and we'll all hang out, and I'm like, damn, this kid's like really freaking smart. Like,
dude, I be meeting some smart kids.
Yeah, I feel stupid.
Like, I meet kids with like high ass IQs.
I'm like, damn,
smart,
these
bro.
kids are like better than me in Fortnite and stuff already. I'm like, bro, this is like not.
Like, that's not how you even play. I'm like, damn, bro. Okay.
Okay, bro, you got it, dog. You got it. So you can learn some things from the younger generation too, bro.
Yeah. No. I can't believe you'd be sleeping like this right now.
Yup. Literally.
Okay. Smartest person in the world or richest person in the world?
Richest. Yeah. I mean, I feel like being so smart would actually kind of depress me as time.
Yeah, because I'll be like, fuck,
I know too much. I'm like, fuck, I need to learn something.
I already learned it.
You know, like, once you're like, you know, you don't have to worry about money and you just focus on everything else. But I guess if you're the smartest person in the world, you should be able to make a lot of money too. So, but
there's
some truth in that.
There's some truth. There's like a little bit.
Yeah, just a little.
Not that much. Because even the smartest people don't make that much money. Mm-hmm. They'd be too smart. They'd be building dumb shit.
Uh-huh.
I'd be like, come on, bro.
Overthinking a lot of things.
I know. Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Nice.
Sunset for sure.
Rain or snow?
Rain. I fucking hate snow. Listen, I was so excited. I seen snow for the first time last year.
How was it?
Absolutely fucking horrible. It was very cool for like an hour. So backstory to the first time me seeing snow. I was in Utah, and we were at some kind of canyons or whatever, and there was, you know, like nice, cool ass looking river water, and I like to like dunk my head in the river. I'm like, oh yeah, super primal, you know, like, all right, feeling like a Native American. So I do that in Utah. We're walking like this trail, and about like half a mile in, it says, warning, do not touch the water, like dangerous parasites in the water, do not drink the water, do not touch the water, don't let your dogs in. And I was like, holy fuck. So I ended up getting sick like a day or two later, and that's when I started seeing snow for the first time. So it was beautiful, but the snow just made everything so miserable when I was sick. So I was like, yeah, no, not cool. Snowboarding, I'd rather go snowboarding in the desert. You know what I mean? Like, for real, I hate the cold. I prefer warm. Yeah, I didn't really realize that.
We hear here that Tom does not like snowboarding or snow.
No, my boy. Shout out my boy. He actually invited me and paid for my ticket to go and everything. So I was like super excited. Then I kind of felt like shit because like I went snowboarding for like a day, for literally one day, and I was like, yeah, not doing that again.
You're like, fuck that.
Snow's cool for an hour, and then you could leave. If you could leave, hop on a plane and fly back to Florida, that would be the ideal.
That's the go-to right there.
Sure.
Okay, so usually at the end of the podcast, I like to ask closer questions.
Okay.
So what are 3 movies, any kind, that you've watched that are like your favorite?
I don't
or
know.
Or have inspired you, or just, it could be any kind of movie, don't care what it is.
Okay.
Then you don't have to be inspirational.
I don't know why I really this is the first movie I watched on Netflix. Blood Diamond. When Netflix was still on the CDs. That's how you know I'm kind of getting kind of old. Blood Diamond by Leonardo DiCaprio is in it, I believe. That movie was insane. I don't know why I love that movie so much, but it was a good movie.
Oh, with this guy.
Yeah, that movie, it had a great story. That one movie with Will Smith and Jaden Smith when he was a kid, Pursuit of Happiness. That was a really good movie.
Yeah,
that was a really good movie as well. And man, I would say Happy Gilmore.
You look like an Adam Sandler
I
guy.
loved Adam Sandler. I still do love Adam Sandler, but he's he's fucking genius, man. He's just I want to grow up to be like Adam when I get older.
What a chill guy he is. I mean, I don't know him. Shout out to him.
Shout out to Adam.
We don't know him, but he seems pretty chill.
Come be on the podcast.
I know, for real.
Whoa,
Dude,
come be on the pod. Adam, join the pod.
3 of your favorite artists. Doesn't have to be
artists, like musical artists,
artists.
Okay. It's a great question. I've been like really diversifying my music lately.
I love that.
I
love people that dip into everything.
Everything, yeah, absolutely. I was like very big on just hip hop and rap for a long time.
Okay.
But I'm really starting to get into like alternative rock, like Spanish music, everything. So I guess I've been vibing. Lil Wayne obviously has to be one of. He's just a lyrical genius.
Yeah, Weezy
F baby, and
the Wizinator.
Wheezy. Another good one. Trying to think old school a little bit.
Oh, I love that.
MJ, Michael Jackson. Absolutely. I used to dance to fucking Michael Jackson cleaning on Saturday mornings. My mom and my brother got put on the Michael Jackson playlist on the CD.
I love Blue Gangsta by Michael Jackson.
I don't know that song, so
That's
I
good.
don't feel like a real Michael Jackson lover anymore. And
I was trying to listen to this song.
I have to. Now you're gonna have to play it for me after the pod.
Yeah.
And,
so you can listen to it. I think you might like it.
Yeah. And I would say I've really been fucking with Morgan Wallen. Shout out to Sosa and John. Shout out to our mutual friends, Sosa and John. They really put me on to like that, like country, because I used to hate country music, but
they love that shit.
Yeah, it's awesome. Good vibes. Good vibes. So kind of.
Some of them.
Some of them.
Not like all the time.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Like,
Some
it's
of it's
like
really sad.
Some of
actually.
it's like that sitting in my shotgun and in the park.
Sometimes you're just like, hell yeah, let me get a beer after that, man.
Let me get a fucking whiskey.
Absolutely, man.
Okay. Those are. So we got Wheezy, Morgan Wallen.
And then Michael Jackson. Yeah, that's a crazy.
Damn, that was a three. That was okay.
Yeah, three different. And then standing ovation goes to this, what's his name? I think J1. The
Are you
Spanish.
About,
He's a Spanish. The Spanish.
Yes,
yeah. Oh, na. Yeah. He makes vibey songs. Like if I listen to one of his songs, I just start.
That's the dance right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's the guts in your bones.
That's the go-to.
That's the go-to right there.
That is the go-to.
When that song is starting, you better bring out them dance moves like nothing.
Yeah.
Is there a famous quote or anything that you've heard over the lifetime that you would like to share with my viewers? Or anything that was inspirational that somebody's told you that you've kept with you for a while?
Learn from yesterday, live for today, and hope for tomorrow.
Who the hell said that?
I don't know. But whoever did was a wise person.
Somebody said that, I just can't remember who. I saw it in a video on Instagram the other day.
Well, whoever said that is a wise person.
You're
I don't know. I
man,
think it's anonymous.
Anonymous. We'll write it on the unknown.
But whoever did say that, shout out to you. That is you.
That's a great. You ever watch Dazed and Confused?
It sounds like a pothead movie. Is it? Is that a pothead movie? I probably have.
With Matthew McConaughey in it.
Oh my god, it sounds so familiar.
That movie.
No.
Old hippie. You seem like you would like that movie.
I probably would. I love Cheech and Chong.
Yeah, you'd probably
it's like really.
Yeah,
I probably would.
I forgot. I put somebody onto that movie.
Especially if Matthew McConaughey's in there, bro. He's a freaking
Matthew McConaughey's
bro.
Fucking legend, bro. I just watched the Oscars the other day, and he was there.
Did he win anything?
He won previously the year before.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's this one. I think my favorite movie from Matthew McConaughey was the one that he went into space.
Oh,
what is it? Interstellar? Yeah, that one was wow. I was just like,
who else told me they liked Interstellar?
Mind blown.
I forgot
to even see him in a role like that too, you know.
I forgot. I was talking to somebody about Matthew McConaughey, and they said the same thing. I like that movie when he's a space guy. I think it's Interstellar.
Yo, that movie is crazy.
Really? That's the movie that everybody likes from him?
I really like. Have you watched that movie?
I have.
Yeah, I think it was cool because you're used to seeing like Matthew McConaughey just be a real smooth player kind of dude.
Yeah, he's always like a smooth guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Going like this with finger guns and shit.
Exactly. You know, so like to see him in a different kind of role as him playing like very still smooth always. Matthew McConaughey always
he's a smooth guy.
He's a smooth dude. But Matthew McConaughey in that movie was like, I don't know, kind of like put him in a different light, made him more serious and made him like, I don't know, smarter because he's, you know, working as an astronaut.
He came out with a book actually.
Really? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I want to get it. I haven't got it. It's one of my minis of collection of books.
And it would only be right if you read the book and then like listen to the audio version of it and it's his voice.
Oh dude, that would
be awesome. That would be pretty awesome.
This is Matthew McConaughey.
This is Matthew.
You're reading my book. Oh my god, that's a good one. 3 podcasts if you listen to them.
Oh yeah, so Out of My Mind pod, obviously. That's gotta be up there for sure. Definitely Joe Rogan podcast. Like I think every dude loves Joe Rogan podcast.
I'm pretty sure every dude loves.
Yeah, like I don't know, like I don't trust you if you don't like Joe Rogan. There's something has to be.
I'm watching you now.
Yeah, he's very chill. I really love how how you're doing now. In a sense, he just goes for whatever he thinks is interesting. You know what I mean? He doesn't necessarily like. A lot of the people he podcasts are like, who the fuck is this guy? Mm-hmm. But once they actually start conversating and talking and whatever, and you're just like, wow, like he's really good at just talking to people and then making things interesting. So that and last podcast, I don't even know if it would be considered a podcast. I really like Flagrant by Andrew Schultz, and it has I wouldn't even say it's necessarily a podcast. It's more like a group podcast. So they do still interview people, but it's more like in a group setting. So they'll have it'll be Andrew and then a few of his boys, and then they'll interview a person, and they have a comedic background behind it, but then they also ask serious questions. So it's pretty cool in that sense. Yeah, check it out.
I might have to, because I don't really know. I think I've heard of the name. I probably have. I just don't. I'm more of you got to show me the person, and then I'll know who you're talking about. Yeah. Because other than that, names, I feel like everybody knows. Anyway, Dolph, I truly appreciate you for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me as a guest. It was really dope. It was super cool.
This has been a great opportunity to do with you. I hope you get to work more in the future. Get to see you elevate. Come back in a couple of years.
Yeah, same here.
We'll see what kind of stuff we have going on.
Only room for growth.
That's what we're here for, partner James. Thank you for tuning in to Out of My Mind, the podcast for the club, the mind, and be good for the soul. Please tune in. Sometimes I don't know. I be busy, and I be trying to get these videos edited and out on time, but I be slow. It's life. I'm human.
When it comes out, it comes out.
You know,
tune in.
Just tune in, okay?
Tap in.
I got 3 videos on lock right now, so tune in. We'll be back for more content. And thanks, Doc.